Ooh, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever y'all are. Sorry for being late. My doorbell rang literally the minute I was about to press go live, and so that was a delivery that was supposed to come a lot later today. Mercury's still retrograde. Y'all know that. It moved into Leo. We're working with those energies. And of course, we have the full moon in Aquarius tomorrow. So that's going to be something that you're probably feeling already. How's everyone doing? I feel like I just left it in the community post that, this is the big one of the year. So just remember to handle the energies. The best thing is to go out there and actually, if you can, look at. I mean, it's a super moon, so it's super close to Earth, and it is. I've mentioned this in the past that I love full moons. Just going out there and I just get hypnotized by them. But it is a really good time to. I know this might sound funny, but like speak to it, have that moment, let its illuminance wash away the things that you want to let go, manifest the things that you want for your future. Really have that conversation because you're going to feel it within. And remember, with full moons, you definitely want to, things are going to culminate, things are going to end, and it's going to be a big full moon with all the aspects that are happening at the same time. So you're going to feel your life is changing. I'm going to let a couple other people come in. And what is it? August 18th? I have a feeling that this is definitely going to be because of the full moon. I feel like it is going to be a very intimate group. Anyway, y'all. So happy full moon. It is a time. I mean, remember, there's so much happening with this full moon. It's happening tomorrow. You're probably going to feel it today. There's a lot of different planets having conversations with this full moon. Okay. So it's just, if you want to imagine it, every planet is associated with a god. If you want to imagine maybe Hermes, Zeus, Aphrodite, Cronus, they're all at the gods council, they're all having a conversation right now. So there's going to be a lot of new things to come. All right, so who's in here? I think it says, okay, I don't even know. Mercury's retrograde. It's definitely been fun. It's been fun. And I actually finished. Hi, Jean. How are you? Jean in Vegas. I just finished your monthly forecast. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, because I did your monthly forecast for September, it is a really big month, and I want you to start planning September. There's a lot of big things happening in September. What I'm going to do is I skip the last week of August, and those are when we have the trines that are just so powerful. We have some really, really lovely trines that are going to be happening in August next week. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my calendar. But we'll talk about those if you want to. But for September, the biggest thing of all is the eclipse. Hi Irma, hi Denise, great to see y'all. I think my computer is. Let me know if you can hear me and everything's working well. I've been having so many computer challenges. And one other thing that I was going to mention about this full moon, I know I did mention there are a lot of big aspects that are happening, but just remember, this is not a time to be fearful. I know that there's been a lot of people out there saying that it's chaos and all these strong words, and do not let them, take away your power and your energy. So continue to, it just really is a time to expect some change. Yes. Will there be changes happening? Absolutely. Well, Aquarius is the, rebellion, very forward thinking, though, very progressive, all about the humanitarian community. So really thinking about your path forward, okay? And letting things go so you can lighten your load as you continue down your path. Now, does anybody have any questions? Okay, thanks. I'm glad that you can hear me well. And feel free to ask some questions as we continue. What I was going to say is that next week, August 27th, we have Venus trine Uranus. And then we have Venus trine Pluto on August 29th. And then Venus moves into Libra, which is in its domicile, which is absolutely amazing. And then we have Mercury going direct. So Mercury will no longer be retrograde. So absolutely next week is really nice. It's really nice. Now, September is going to be a very important month because we enter eclipse season. And so we have our first eclipse of the season. And your readings, your forecasts, your September forecasts are really long. They're up to an hour because September, like I said, it's a loaded month. We kick it off. Okay, before we even get to the eclipse, let me just break down what's happening before we get to the eclipse. So, as soon as we hit September, you will hit the ground running. There's from right off the bat, September 1st, we have Uranus going retrograde at 27 degrees. And then we have Pluto going retrograde. Now, these retrogrades are extremely significant. Uranus and Pluto going retrograde. They're going retrograde at the same time that Saturn and Neptune are retrograde as well. So you will have those 4 outer planets retrograde. And just this is more about just going within, having those inner breakthrough, having those interchanges, thinking about the new system structures that you want to set for yourself moving forward. Now, Uranus going retrograde. Uranus is all about surprises and the unexpected, but Uranus is also breakthroughs. It's also, freedom. You could have sudden moments of awareness around this time as soon as September hits, okay? Because with retrogrades, the bookends are always really strong. And you can see that with Mercury retrograde as well. The days surrounding when Mercury does go retrograde, that's when everything gets a little so just know right off the bat, things are going to be changing for you. You're going to be changing. You're going to be feeling that change, and you're probably already doing it because this full moon in Aquarius is also extremely significant and impactful. Uranus, by the way, will be very active during the full moon tomorrow. So you may be feeling it for today and tomorrow as well. Uranus is the ruling planet for Aquarius. So it's a potent full moon. But anyway, back to September 1st, Uranus will go retrograde. So right off the bat, you could just feel some change happening. Now, Pluto going retrograde, this is also a really big deal. This is absolutely enormous. Pluto going retrograde is retrograding back into Capricorn. And so, Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto moved into Aquarius earlier this year. It went retrograde, a few months ago. But now it's retrograding so far back into Capricorn just for a few months until I think it's November 19th. And so this is you. Pluto is power, right? Pluto is power, empowerment. Pluto represents a lot of things, death and rebirth. But it's in Capricorn, so which is organizations, its systems, its structures, even traditions as well. So again, this is you going within, reflecting for a lot of y'all on big themes that have been happening in your life since 2008 when Pluto moved into Capricorn. Now, Pluto and yes, you are going to see this on on a global scale as well. Pluto moving back into Capricorn, you can think of bigger organizations and systems and structures. This is you changing things in your life. This is you having a new direction for the rest of the year and for 2025. So Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. This is the last time Pluto is going to be in Capricorn in our lifetime. Okay, this is going to be really big. This is going to be really big. The next time Pluto goes into Capricorn is 2268. Does anybody want to know? Does anybody know what's going to happen in 2268? I'm very curious. How crazy is it to think like what's going to happen? What's going to be going on in the world that time? Well, with Pluto being in Aquarius, obviously technology is going to be advanced to a whole other level. You're gonna start seeing that. I think I mentioned that as soon as Pluto did move into Aquarius, just for a little bit. I think last year, that was when ChatGPT became such a big global thing. Anyway, we're gonna see a lot of that when Pluto permanently moves back into Aquarius at the end of November. But just know these retrogrades are important, and it's for you to go within to really reassess things, to have that moment in terms of what is not serving me well, so I can move forward. And it has been a big year of some changes. I can almost guarantee that a lot of y'all are in different places in your life when compared to when you started 2024. There's been some massive changes that have been happening. 2025 is going to be even more impactful. 2025, and I mentioned this in your monthly forecast, it is, first, remember, I recorded your videos while Mercury was retrograde, so there I glitchy moments or whatnot for some of the signs, but it is possibly the most impactful year of the 2020s, 2025. Okay, we're moving into one of the biggest years of the decade, and just to give you a little bit of an idea, let me see if I can pull up these notes. Anyway, remember how I said starting in September, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto all retrograde. Those are the 4 outer planets that will be changing signs in 2025, and they're going to be changing signs all overlapping the same dates. And so that is so rare to have four outer planets change signs within a year. Now, that's not it. Jupiter will also be changing signs. So now we have 5 planets, 5 outer planets changing signs all next year, 2025. And it's going to start March-ish. I think that's when Neptune, let me just see if I can. Yeah. March. Neptune goes into Aries in March, end of March. So let's say April. And then you have Saturn moving into Aries as well. So you've got Neptune and Saturn both leaving Pisces. Pisces has been a big player for y'all with these planets there. Jupiter moving into Cancer in June, and then Uranus moving into Gemini in July. So Uranus has been in Taurus for 8 years, changing signs. I said, this is big. This is big. Neptune moving into Aries. What is that? 14 years it's been in Pisces. Saturn moving into Aries. It's been there for 3 years. But this is they're only going to be here for a little bit before they move permanently into their signs in 2026. But you're going to start getting that preview. But you're going to start feeling that shift. So 2025 is really big, and I say that I'll just repeat it now. One thing that I try not to do in the monthly overviews that I do right now is repeat what I say in your monthly forecast for each sign. But September really is going to give you a window, and it's going to determine what your life is going to be like in 2025. Okay. We'll talk about that when we get to the eclipse, when I tell you about the eclipse. So retrogrades right off the bat. And then September 2nd, I want you to write this down in your calendar. We have a new moon in Virgo. This is a bit, new moons, you want to set intentions. You want to really put your energy out there in terms of what you want moving forward. And new moon in Virgo, this is a really big focus on health and wellness and fitness, work as well, daily activities. You could be really productive with this new moon in Virgo because we're still in Virgo season 2. Okay. And then Mercury will be moving back into Virgo. Remember, Mercury is retrograde, moving back into Leo, then moving back into Virgo. So we have a lot of Virgo energy. Virgo is also service to others. This new moon in Virgo is happening on September 2nd. So again, right off the bat, you've got these retrogrades, the book ends, and then new moon in Virgo. It is going to be an interesting new moon in Virgo. I there are a lot of things happening around this new moon in Virgo. And so when you set intentions, it's going to be a time where you want to be very clear about the intentions that you're setting, because there's some fog around this day. There's some fog around this day. Now, another thing that's happening, I think I mentioned this in your, I think I mentioned this in the 6 months ahead. Oh, I don't have my notebook with me. September was a time where there's going to be this really strong heart energy that I talked about. I think that I mentioned there was something that was happening. There could be news around space. I think I also mentioned vaccinations were possibly going to be a thing in September. And then that all makes sense with all this, Virgo activity, like I said, health, and you got to think of, if you want to think of mundane and astrology as well. Oh, I didn't talk. Oh, wait, no, I didn't talk about that in your 6 months ahead. Anyway, it just, I'm not saying that it's going to be, it just, there's a tension around it. But the other thing that is happening is September 4th, Mars will move into Cancer. And this is something that I think I talked about in your 6 months ahead forecast. Mars moving into Cancer is a little touchy-feely, okay? This is going to be significant because Mars is going to be in Cancer all of September, all of October, and then Mars moves into Leo. And then Mars will go retrograde in December. The beginning of December, goes back into Cancer in February, back into Leo until June 2025. That's Mars in only 2 signs months. Isn't that crazy? That's kind of that's really big. That's a really big deal. It does so you right now, Mars is fine in Leo. Mars is in Gemini right now, so that's just like really free energy. Continue to use this energy until September 4th. Okay, remember, you had Mars in Gemini conjunct Jupiter in Gemini recently. You're going to feel that. Especially with communication, learning new things, expansion, things growing in your life. You could be thinking about learning something new. Are people doing that? Just try. Like, I even signed up for a course, and then I'm attending this, workshop for something else in September, but it's meant to help expand your world and expand your mind to make you feel a lot wiser, bring that inner wisdom to expand your horizons. So use that energy now. Now, Mars in Cancer is not bad. And I'm going to say this because I natally have Mars in Cancer in my birth chart. So I know what Mars in Cancer is like, and I definitely feel it on a daily basis. But Mars in Cancer, yeah. So Mars is in its fall in Cancer. And again, that's going to be all month. There's a lot of benefits to Mars in Cancer. There is a lot of feeling things through. Remember, Cancer is a sensitive sign. It's a nurturing sign. So you may be feeling a lot of that, but also Mars in Cancer, because it's in its fall, it can feel that you can feel extra sensitive sometimes. But the biggest picture here is there is going to be an emphasis on security. Okay, that could become a big priority for you, especially with home and family. That could be a really big priority for you. And remember, Cancer is nurturing. And remember, this is also for the collective. Mars and Cancer is for the collective. So you may feel a lot of people having heightened emotions, heightened intuition as well. Your intuition could be heightened, but this is an aspect that you want to use to your advantage, Mars and Cancer. Now, when I say emotions are going to be heightened, they could also feel really intense because Venus is moving into Scorpio. So that's going to happen September 22nd. So toward the end of the month, emotions could be intensely heightened. People could be ultra sensitive, but people could also be very passionate. You could feel very passionate about things. One thing I'm going to point out, Mars is going to be in Cancer, Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio is very intense. There's this intense energy, but use it for your passions. It's intense passions. Your passions are going to be heightened. Now, I'm going to point out something to you. You've got Mars in Cancer, the crab. You've got Venus in Scorpio, the scorpion. And so there may be a tendency or an urge to have those pinchers out. The Scorpio, it's got the stinger. The crabs have got the pinchers. And so when I say emotions may be heightened and people could be ultra sensitive, those pinchers could come out. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. My Mars in Cancer is that's in my third house. So a lot of it is with communicating. But it's going to affect everybody differently on different areas of their life. Obviously, it depends on your rising sign, your birth chart. All of those factors play into it. But this is just saying in a general context with these archetypes. Any questions so far? Oh, Danielle, you've got Mars in Cancer too. Yeah, so you get it. And I feel like a lot of these placements in your chart, they really, everything cycles in life. We go through cycles. Planets are cycles. I won't go too much into it. I'm looking at the time, but I feel like some people may feel that Mars and Cancer energy a lot stronger when they were younger. We grow, we adapt. I mean, the older you get, the more you learn. And then the more that you learn, the more that you are more in tune with yourself and can handle energies that even if you have challenging aspects in your birth chart, you get used to it and you learn how to handle those energies. So another, let me see. Mercury is, as I said, Mercury's moving back into Virgo. Okay. So remember, Mercury was in Virgo for a hot second. Now this is going to be on the 8th. September 8th, Mercury's going to move back into Virgo. So you've got Mercury in its domicile in Virgo, which is great. One thing that I forgot to mention, oh, no, I think I mentioned it. For the first 3 weeks before Venus moves into Scorpio, Venus will be in Libra. And so that's really nice. So that's a lot of harmony. That's a lot of peace. That's love. That's relationships, partnerships. It's Venus, again, rules Libra. So in her, she thrives in Libra. Very social. Venus is very social. Libra is very social. You could be having these wonderful times being social. So definitely spend time communicating and feeling your heart energy with the Venus and Libra aspect. And then Mercury and Virgo. A lot of just, getting things done. A lot of checking things off your to-do list. It's really, really nice. Now, we also have a number of trines this month in September, and those are going to be very special. Those are going to be really, really, really nice. And you're definitely going to feel them. The first one that happens will be Saturday, September 14th. And I want you to pay attention to this one because this is the 2 benefic planets. This will be Venus trining Jupiter. And so this is just lovely. This could be one of your best days of September. And so it starts happening mid-month. And remember, trines just make everything so much easier for you. And there could be remember, Venus is love and money and creativity and relationships. And then you've got Jupiter, which is growth and expansion, luck. If you're single, you'd be lucky in love. I mean, this is a great, when I say be social, go out there, have a great time. Now, the big aspect, the big kahuna is the full moon partial lunar eclipse that we will have on September 17th. This will be in Pisces. So remember what I said. I think I mentioned this very briefly in the next 6 months forecast. This is going to give you an idea of what your life is going to be like in 2025. Because when we get to 2025, remember I said the most significant year of the 2020s of the decade, it's going to be really big. 2026 is going to be major too. 2020, 2025 and 2026. But 2025 is kind of like that pivot point. A lot of changes are happening. So this full moon, partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. Pisces is such a spiritual sign. Okay. You've been working with a lot of Pisces energy with Neptune there, with Saturn there. Saturn's actually be conjoining this eclipse. Remember, it's still a full moon. It's a full moon times 20 because it's an eclipse, and eclipses are game changers, and eclipses really just make things happen, and they can eclipse things out of your life. Remember, eclipses are also wild cards, but this is a full moon lunar eclipse, so things are coming to an end, culmination for you anyway. Now, the reason why I say this is going to give you an idea of 2025 is because we have the nodal shift. Okay, so remember, this year we've had the north node in Aries, south node in Libra. They are shifting for 2025. They're moving to Pisces, Virgo. So when I say pay attention to this month and take action this month, you want to situate yourself in a really good place come 2025, because we've got the nodal shifts. So remember, north node is moving into Pisces, south node is moving into Virgo for the entire year. And all the eclipses, because we're talking about the nodes here, are shifting. So we're going to have all the eclipses in Virgo Pisces next year. We're still going to be finishing out the Aries Libra axis. So I think so October we do have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and then we will have one more eclipse in Aries in 2025. So we're completing that. But again, we will have, I think it's two, let me see. I think we're having two eclipses in Virgo next year. Is it two eclipses in Virgo? Yeah, we're having two eclipses in Virgo in 2025 and one more in Pisces in 2025. So again, there's a storyline happening for you starting now. And it could have actually started way back in or actually, you know what? No, it could start tomorrow. And the reason I say that is because let me pull up my notes. All right, so tomorrow is when we have Venus opposite Saturn. Remember, Venus is in Virgo, Saturn is in Pisces. And so, yeah, there could be a storyline, this new path that's starting for you that you're recognizing starting now. And then in September, there's going to be a day when the sun is opposite Saturn, sun in Virgo, opposite Saturn in Pisces. So we're really playing out this Virgo Pisces energy. And again, that's going to be something different for every sign. Again, your forecast, I'll post them as always on Wednesday. But every sign's going to feel it differently, different area if in your life. And if you're Virgo Pisces, you're going through big changes. You're going through some big changes, but everyone is, because Virgo and Pisces represent something for, every sign in a different area in their life. And again, September is when you're really going to feel it, when we kick it off with a new moon in Virgo, full moon in Pisces. So what else is going on here? And then, does anybody have any questions about this eclipse? Again, I go more into detail in your monthly forecast. This is just more of a heads up to give you an idea what to expect if you want to start planning Start planning ahead. Mark this in your calendar. Again, the eclipse is Tuesday, September 17th. You can plan events around this time. You can plan, if you do any sort of, manifestation rituals or whatnot. It's just for you to plan around certain dates as well. Yeah. For instance, for me, because this eclipse in Pisces, with me being Aquarius, Gemini rising, it's so interesting that hits my second house and my 10th house. So a lot of career activity for me, but also a lot of money activity as well. The second house is finances, and then the 10th house is career. So I know that I'm going through some changes. So I'm planning ahead because I know that this eclipse is going to be impactful. So I'm already preparing for some of these changes. So again, remember, with eclipses being wild cards and game changers, and if you're not aware that this is going to be happening, then something in your life could, there could be something ending and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? But if you know this is happening, you can be prepared that something could be happening for you. But again, you also want to use these aspects to your advantage and take charge. Now we will officially enter Libra season. Happy birthday, Libras. Happy birthday, Virgos, by the way. Still in Virgo season. Happy birthday, Libras. September 22nd. And that is the day of the equinox. So we officially move into fall in the northern hemisphere, spring in the winter. Fall, winter, spring. I always have to calculate that in my head. So there is going to be a really big focus and then Mercury's going to be moving into Libra that week as well. A lot of great Libra energy. Again, that is relationships, partnerships, commitments, but thinking about what Libra represents: peace, harmony, justice. Again, very social. That's a big energy that has been coming through. A lot of conversations. People are going to feel compelled to reach out to their friends, family, lovers, whoever it is. But this is the equinox, and we will talk about this a lot more when we get to that week. But we do officially enter Libra season. And then we actually end September with Mars trining Saturn. Okay. And you can mark this in your calendar too. This is one of the best days of the month. Mars trining Saturn. And there's a lot of great days. I'm highlighting like the biggest ones. This is going to be September 29th. It's a Sunday. Mars trining Saturn. Oh, whatever you do this day, whatever action that you take, there is this potential for long-term. There's this long-term energy to it. Remember, Saturn is all about that long-term goals and commitments, but you've got the two malefic planets doing something really special for you now. Remember, trines are absolutely auspicious. And this is going to be a very watery trine because Mars is in Cancer, Saturn is in Pisces. Two water signs, but two of the most intuitive signs as well. So your intuition could be really heightened around this time. I would encourage you to really take some time out to really go within around this time and let your intuition guide you as well in terms of moving forward with along your path. So again, there is just so much happening. There's nearly 30 major aspects. Those are the big ones that I want you to pay attention to. Now, the ones that may be a little bit challenging would be the Sun opposite Saturn. So that's going to be September 7th. this is, I mean, the sun's in Virgo, Saturn's in Pisces. Just expect some change, or you could be adapting to change around this time. This is, you know, in a way, it could be you having this reality check as well. Like, okay, is this what I want to commit to? Remember, Saturn's the fun police, and Saturn is asking you to be disciplined in an area. But if that's a area in your life where you're like, well, I don't want to be disciplined here, this is not what I want, remember, there could be some things that you are understanding about yourself around this time as well. And this is just a great time to focus on your spiritual growth. But again, pay attention to what happens here. Remember, Sun in Virgo, Saturn in Pisces, the Virgo Pisces axis. Another day that I don't know if I mentioned this in a lot of forecasts, I tried to. One day that can be a little challenging is September 18th with Mercury opposite Saturn. There's a bunch of oppositions this month, and Neptune is going to be highly active. Remember, Neptune is in. Well, before we get there, I'm going to give you an opposition with the Neptune opposition. But Wednesday, September 18th, Mercury will be opposite Saturn. This is a day where I just don't want you signing any contracts, making any sort of agreements. They're just, these two planets are not seeing eye to eye. And Mercury, remember, is communication, it's writing, it's you know, even agreements. And Saturn is opposite, and Saturn is really not negotiating well with Mercury this day. So just keep that in mind. This is the day right after the eclipse. Okay, right after the eclipse. But then the day after, the sun's going to trine Uranus, which brings this amazing, unexpected news, surprises. That's going to be really wonderful for y'all. And like I said, Neptune is going to be active with oppositions and squares. Remember, Neptune is in Pisces at 29 degrees. Critical degree and an analytic degree. It's, I've talked about this. It can bring up some of that illusion, delusion, confusion. Speaking of reality checks, this is where it's you want to make sure that you're being your authentic self. And so another day is September 25th, where Mercury opposes Neptune. So there could be something here. Remember, Mercury's also just it's intellect, it's logic, it's processing things. So this is a day where you could have a really big reality check, but cut through that fog that Neptune brings. And in a way, sure, this you know, it can be a challenging day where you may be confused about what you want. I also see this as a good thing, because I mentioned this in some of your forecasts. Sometimes you need that fog to know what your truth is. So it can be a good thing for y'all, as long as you're using it to your advantage. One of the reasons I'm highlighting this day is because the same day Mercury will then trine Pluto. And so this is you digging really deep to find your power, your personal power. This is all about empowerment. We're talking about Pluto, digging for some truth, okay? Your authentic self. There could be some big, powerful moments you have this day. And there even could be some transactions that are very empowering for you. This is when, you know, agreements, you could be negotiating, you could be having some powerful conversations that work in your favor. So just know what you want, because Neptune is going to bring a little bit of fog that day. Be sure of what you want. Be certain. And I think that Mercury trining Pluto is going to really, you're going to feel that empowerment. Transformation. Pluto is transformation. It is the underworld, right? Pluto represents the underworld, okay? And it can be very, very powerful, but this is really working in your favor with Mercury trining Pluto. Questions? Y'all, where y'all? Okay. Oh, San, you've got Mars, Sun, and rising in Cancer. Look at you. Well, so that's gonna be so yeah, for you and Danielle, y'all are gonna really feel September. Wow. Wow. That is all the Cancer energy. Katie, you asked, when is a good time to manifest partner or partner back? Um, I think that's more personal. I think that is for you to decide if you're actually asking that question. Ask yourself, is this what I really want? And I think that a lot of aspects that are happening starting today, remember this full moons illuminate, okay? The full moons illuminate. This is think about the sun and the moon, right? The sun shines, it's your life force, it's your purpose. The moon, we see the moon, it's a reflection of the sun with the earth. Like, so the moon is reflecting what's inside. So there are a lot of things coming to the surface, okay? The sun is actual light. But that's more of like a personal thing, is a good time to manifest partner or partner coming back. It's something that you have to decide for yourself and ask the big questions. Remember, we've got so much happening astrologically, and if you know deep down inside that that's something that you want, then great. Then have see if that works out in your favor. But if it is something that, remember, we have a full moon happening now, we have a major eclipse, another ending of something that's happening in September. So what sign are you? What's your rising? What's Danielle, you said you've been a hot mess. Very empathetic. Well, that's good. Okay. But listen, it's again working with these energies, and this is why I like to do these monthly forecasts, so you can know that there's some strong energies coming up with these aspects, for instance, today and tomorrow. But again, it's not for you to fear it. It's to say, oh, okay, there's a speed bump coming ahead. So let me slow down a little bit and observe things around me. And then I'm going to get over that hump. Now, all these aspects affect every sign differently. And again, we're talking about birth charts here. It's also based on your charts. This full moon's in I'm in Aquarius. So obviously this full moon, which is known to be, the most potent of the year, it's definitely going to have a big impact on me, but I'm still me doing my thing. It really is how you handle the energies. It's how you handle the energies that make you stronger. And if there are any things that, you know how in tarot you see the mountains, right? It can be something that you get really excited about, like, ooh, there's this mountain to climb, or it could be something indicating, ooh, this, could be a challenge. It's all about your perspective. How do you see it? How do you see it? Right? So it's all about the mindset, but also being in touch with your pineal gland. I point that out in a lot of forecasts this week. Higher mind, remember again, a lot of these energies are going to ask you to go within, and that is something that's going to benefit you when you do have those moments where you're in touch with your intuition. When intuition, karma is always a big thing, right? So intuition, when you're in touch with your intuition and have this really strong connection with it, everything is easier. Everything is life is so much easier. Nothing, you're bulletproof. You make, you know, karmically sound decisions. You just know yourself in this way where you know that nothing can have this impact on you, and you don't have any. And again, I just want you to know that this full moon, yes, there can be some challenging moments, but for some people you'll be fine. You may just, it's like water off a duck's back. It's how you handle the energies and how you perceive things. Good morning, Maria. um Danielle, you say no, it's raining. Yes, this full moon can be, and that's what full moons do. Remember, full moons, like it's your emotions, they can be, they have such a big effect on us, right? Full moons, and they have throughout the course of history. I think it was like the 15th century when, when you think about the moon, the etymology of the moon, it's Luna, right? The goddess of the moon. It's why we call it, like the lunar surface and whatnot. But I think there was a point in, I think it was 13th century, 14th century, it's somewhere in the Middle Ages, where Old English, it was lunacy. And so that's how it people get a little, that moons affect us. They affect us emotionally, they affect our animals, they affect our ocean tides, they affect a lot of things. So they do kind of like pull energy from you. And yes, it can feel a little bit draining, but that's why I'd say it's taking that time, because the moon is also intuition. So it's taking that time, you taking that time out to really go within and harness this energy in a way that serves you best, so you can move forward in a way that that, hey, whatever challenges come my way, like it's gonna be, I'm Superman, I'm Supergirl, whoever. I've got this. Challenges just make me stronger. Again, it's all about your mindset. But yes, it is. I feel like everyone is talking about this full moon, like all over. But there's a reason why. It's more of us giving you a heads up. Hey, there could be, you could feel a little bit drained around this time, or hey, this could be, a time where you're really going within. And then, like I said, we have these amazing trines right after. Um, Maria, you asked what is on track for Aries in September. Well, you will find out on Wednesday when I think Aries. I gotta look back. I think Aries was the long. I think it was like 55 minutes. I may be wrong, but there was Aries. Yeah, yeah. If Aries are going through. I mean, you're going through some big changes. You're going through some really big changes. Danielle, you said, I've noticed I've been helping everyone with their problems, including myself. That's amazing. That's great. And, that is, that's what we need more of in this world. And I think that, you know, with all this Virgo energy, yeah, it is, like I said, service to others it's a really big, it's associated with Virgo. But I think that we are in a place where this full moon in Aquarius is so strong. I think that I mentioned in your forecast, like you could feel it week before, the energies of a week before. You may feel it for, the rest of this month, but Aquarius is also community, the humanitarian. It's Aquarius rules the 11th house. I'm looking for Katie. Katie, did I answer your question? Or are we, okay. Where'd she go? Danielle, you said, I have been taking a very adult approach with unexpected problems arise. Oh, and you think of me. Okay. Tell me I'll be good. Well, you're good. You're good. All y'all are good. And you know that. You're all, listen, you just always want to. And that's what I love about what you wrote, Danielle, about, you've been helping everyone. And that's the more that your vibrations raise and you're on this high frequency, the more that other people feel it, the more that you're spreading that compassion, that gratitude, and it's everyone feels it. We're all made of energy, and it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. You know, it's like if there was you went to a, I don't know, a bus station and everyone was looking glum, and you started telling jokes and you were just and you started handing out flowers to everyone, you're raising everyone's energy levels, and then they're in a good mood. They're going to go be in a good mood for everyone else. And do you see how this works? So I love that. Now you are good. Oh gosh. Okay, so Does anybody have any questions? Just remember, next week, because I'm not doing your weekly forecast. So when I say next week, this is going to be August 26th to September 1st. We do have Venus trining Uranus, August 27th. Absolutely amazing. You could get surprising moments when it comes to love, money. You could even have a personal breakthrough. Okay. Katie, that could be for you too, as well. And then Mercury does officially go direct. Remember, Mercury's still going to be in shadow though, but Mercury is afterward, but it's finally going direct. And then Venus will trine Pluto, which is absolutely powerful. That's August 29th. And again, Venus, money and love, and then Pluto, money and relationships. There's an aspect there as well. So a lot of y'all could have big moments in money, relationships. But again, this could be a big transformation that you go through. It's very eye-opening is what it is. And then Venus moves into Libra and its domicile until September 22nd. And so that's absolutely amazing. So you see how we're moving into all this great energy and then a lot of changes. Anybody having like really big changes in your life that you're going through right now? I know I am. Any questions about the eclipse? And remember that they happen in series. So we do have the full moon eclipse in Pisces in September, and then in October we do have the new moon eclipse in Libra. Yeah. A lot of changes. You're going to start feeling these big shifts. And I would even say starting today, I would see, the things that you want, the direction you want to go, your finish line, your legacy, everything that you're passionate about. Again, because of Venus opposite Saturn, you could even get just a tiny preview of this storyline that's starting, this thread. It's really this thread that's happening in your life. And then you'll feel a little bit more with the Saturn Sun opposition. Again, that's Virgo Pisces in September, and then the eclipse in Pisces in September, the new moon in Virgo in September, and then the nodes moving to the Pisces Virgo axis for 2025. So again, a window. You're basically getting a window into 2025, but I want you to take action for where you want to be in 2025. Okay. And a lot of it's so much spiritual energy, so much going within, so much heart chakra energy that I want you to work with, because you're going to be feeling it. You're absolutely going to be feeling it. I'm wondering if there's anything else that I should tell you. There is the moon is not blue. It is we do have it is a super moon, like I said, tomorrow, and you're gonna it just means it's closer to Earth. So spend time looking at it. Spend time like going out there and really, really. I know again it may sound weird, but speaking to it, just really having those moments. Okay, I feel like there is such a big difference when if you are doing any sort of healing work, self-healing work, manifestations, intention setting, any of that, even like crystal rituals or whatever it is, when you're outside in nature connecting with the planets, it makes a really big difference. Okay, you take that effort to do it, and then you feel it within you, and it becomes a little bit more significant for you, a little bit more serious for you. So really spend that time. I'd say it all the time. I go out my back patio, I look at during the full moons, and I'm there for at least 20-30 minutes just like gazing at it, and everything comes up. It's almost like your therapist is what the full moon is like. And you just sat, and you don't even have to verbally speak, but you can just think and just have those moments. Trust me, you will feel it. Even it can be really emotional. We're talking about the moon, emotions. It can be very emotional, but cathartic as well. So use this time for the next few days. I know it's a super moon, so it's already looking really big. It's already looking really big, but there's definitely going to be some changes happening for you. But there's also closure, things, things that you are moving from. Okay. Um, Oh, Jean, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Jean, you said yes, feeling big, big changes and loving it. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you, Jean. Thank you so much for the 50. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. And that, it really does come in handy. And remember, I said everyone's going through some squeezes. And I've said this from the beginning, from the beginning of the year. Come August, you're gonna start feeling a big of a squeeze. And then with what's happening with me, being an Aquarius, there's a lot of like finances, and I've been feeling that for a while, and it's been kind of crazy at the direction that things are going. But there are a lot of, remember, you're moving in this new direction, and I want you to get excited about it. I want you to get excited about it. Saturn is definitely you're gonna feel that Saturn energy. But remember, I want you to say, Saturn, squeeze me harder. Like, this is nothing. Because you want to feel challenged, because that's going to make you feel more empowered and more excited about moving forward. Okay. It really, just think about, when you can overcome the things that you may have felt that were big challenges or fears or low energy frequencies in the past. When you finally move past it, think how good that feels. Think how good that feels. Okay, remember, Saturn rewards you. Saturn is karma. Saturn rewards you. But thank you so much, Jane. That you're so amazing. I really appreciate you. Danielle, lots of changes. Oh, Jean, okay, bye. I see your message saying that you've got to go. Okay, Jean, thank you so much. Danielle, you said lots of changes have occurred in my life. I've surrounded myself with positive energy, cut out toxic people. I'm also seeking a promotion in my career. That's absolutely amazing. There you go. That's the way to see things. All again, that mind shift, that perception, and the way that you see things really make a difference. Absolutely make a difference. Okay, be in touch with the universe. Have that. All right. Think about even like the very first hermetic principle, mentalism. Okay, just but really take that action and have that. um Katie, question, will I have love? um that's a very broad question. You can have it if you want it. You got to put your intentions out there. What I would wait until look at your forecast on Wednesday, when I drop them on Wednesday for September, because September is really big. And remember, Venus will be in Libra. There's so much happening in Libra. We move into Libra season, and remember, Libra is relationships and partnerships. So I would see what's happening. But yes, of course you will. I don't even know why you so don't. I wouldn't even. I just know that you will. That's the thing. Is like, when you know that you're gonna have love, you will. Again, it's your frequency. I'm gonna have to bring up Albert Einstein again. Albert Einstein himself said, "Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality." And it is so true. Think about the law of attraction. Think of, it's really raising your frequency. So yes, of course, Katie, of course you will. Of course you will. Know that you will. Okay, know that you will. um Miria, lots of moving parts. I'm in the process of selling my house. My son is going through some things. I'm praying for a promotion and pay increase. Great, great. So there's changes happening. There's changes happening. Again, you're gonna start seeing things changing almost in a big dramatic way around this time. Again, I said August is when you start seeing a lot of changes. You will definitely see them in September. September is going to be a really big time for changes. And yeah, Maria, you're triple Cancer, right? So that makes sense, the moving part, all right, with the North Node being in Libra, fourth house, right? Your foundation, your home, real estate. And then remember, I said all this Libra energy. that we're moving into. So that makes a lot of sense. All right, y'all, and good luck. Good luck with the move. I had there's a lot happening for everyone that I'm very excited to tell you about in your monthly forecasts that are, yes, I'm going to release them early this week on Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for being members. Oh my goodness, y'all really mean so. It really means so much for me. Y'all are all really good. I cannot wait for you to see your forecast because September is going to be so game changing. It's going to be so game changing, but it's moving. Remember, there are some things ending for you for new beginnings. All right. So really work with that energy. All right. Work with this energy. You can have whatever you want. You can have anything you want. All right. When you vibrate at that frequency, and don't let anyone take your energy away from you. All right. Just this is a time to, really just kind of like restore right now, like regenerate. And you're going to feel very powerful moving forward. And I'm sure a lot of y'all already do. So thank you so much, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And then remember, next week I'm doing the monthly. I don't even know. Oh, I called it 11/11 with Jimmy, but it's my new monthly. Just me talking to y'all, talking about the energies of the month, asking questions, interacting with y'all. Thank you so much. Okay, and I'm excited, and definitely get excited for Wednesday when I drop your forecast. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Happy full moon in Aquarius. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing weekend wherever you are in this world. Have an amazing weekend and thank you. All right. Thank you so much. All right. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Bye bye, y'all. Thank you.